Well, hello everyone. I'm back to see you all again. And we've got Tricia Costa here from Arizona. And Tricia is my upline in LiveGood, part of my upline in LiveGood. And I wanted to have a chat with Tricia today because Tricia has been at this now well over a year. She started in February of 2023. Now that we're into May of 2024, Tricia has moved through the ranks very quickly, I might add. And Tricia is a diamond. And you officially hit diamond when, Tricia?
January, I hit diamond.
January, yeah. So you have been diamond and maintained diamond up until this time, seen a lot of growth. But some of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, sorry about that, is what you have seen since you started and what you were doing back then and any changes that you have made and what you're doing now.
Definitely. So first of all, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for being so patient with me because I have been so crazy busy between new real estate coaching clients and real estate clients and graduation coming up. It's just so thank you for being flexible and for working with me. You know, I absolutely adore you and I'm so blessed that you are in my team. Just so blessed to have you and Daniela on the team. I love you guys. And yeah, you guys are amazing. Not just outside of business. You know, we've been able to hang out in Mexico and Vegas and really build a friendship. And you guys are my favorite people. Just absolutely love you guys. So thanks for inviting me. And so when I first came into LiveGood, I was really big with recruit. And I hit platinum in 4.5 weeks in LiveGood. It was just so quick. And I think one of the things that I would have probably done differently would have been to not recruit as many people as fast. And maybe I would have spent more time on developing my team and going deep, you know, trying to help other people to achieve bronze and silver. Because when I got to platinum, I didn't have any golds. So it was mostly just all personally sponsored because I had already sponsored well over 100 people in that first, 5 weeks or so. And when you do that, it just makes it so much harder to get to diamond. So that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. And as you know, I have my account and then I have my son's account who's about to turn 18 next month. And then I have my husband's and my mom's. And then I also have an account under an LLC. Okay. So I have a platinum account, I have a gold account, I have a silver account, I have a diamond account, and I have a bronze account. So I have an account at every level, basically. And, one of the things that I have seen is with my son's account, I have really done it differently. So instead of just coming in, and of course, it was a lot easier for me to recruit when I first joined because everybody who knows me, right? Everybody that knows me, likes and trusts me, they were all seeing me show up on social media all of a sudden saying, hey, I'm doing this new thing. There's no founders packs, no starter packs, no price gouging, no auto ships. We have this matrix that you get paid with placements, and people were joining and joining and joining. So with my son, it was completely different because I didn't even start building his account until last summer. So at that point, everybody had already come running to join. So I had to really start reaching out to people. Cold contacts, I know it's always like a sore subject with people. It's like, oh, you can't do cold contacts. Hey, Curry Russell built his entire team with cold messaging. So I don't see a problem with cold messaging. Gloria Diaz, who's a rock star, she joined my team through a cold message. So I had to start doing cold messaging. And through that process, I was moving a little slower with the recruiting. So I have way more legs under my son that are actually going through the ranks than with my original account. So with my original account, by the time I had my first gold, I was already in the business for 5 months. So that it's like insane. Now with my son, it flipped. So he is platinum, but I already have a whole bunch of silvers and I have a gold under him as well. So by the time it'll be faster for him to go from platinum to diamond than it was for me. So it took a lot longer for him to get to platinum, but now the run between platinum and diamond will be a lot shorter than it was for me. So I think that's something that I really saw, after I started building his account.
Yeah. So for the listeners, I want to tell you that as a very good strategic thing, if you're just new in LiveGood, is if you want to build for your family, everybody's benefiting. Be very careful who you sign up in your first two spots. Your first level is 2 people. Someone's going to go on the right and someone's going on the left. So if you want your spouse or a child, what have you, you really need to look at that. It can be a close friend, which is great, but ideally you want people in those strategic spots. And even the level of 4, you would like to have people that you care about near your top line. If you're a builder, that's really important, because your son ended up further down, which that's fine. But in a perfect world, when you're moving your chess pieces around, this strategy is important.
That's another huge mistake that I made. I came in and I didn't know this was going to be big. I didn't know I was going to build. It was like, oh, let's just see what happens. And, all of a sudden 2 people joined, and then it was 10 and it was 20 and it was 100. And I wasn't really thinking about, oh, there's a matrix, my son should be at the top of the matrix. And that was probably the number one mistake I made. When I first came in, I should have had my son in first, and my husband, and then my mom, and then my LLC account. Like, I should have done all of them at once, right?
Right.
Instead, by the time I got my husband in, by the time Joe was placed, he was in level 7, because I was a platinum. Mm-hmm. So I had almost 1,000 people by the time I got him in. But like you said, it's all good. I think what happened was, by the time that I realized that I should have put them on the top, I started feeling sorry for myself. So then it was like, well, I should have done it, but I didn't do it. Now it's too late. And then it was like, maybe I should have done it last week. Shoot, I should have done it last week. And then finally one day, Joe's like, okay, every week you should have done it the previous week. And he's like, next year, you're going to be like, I should have done it last year. So I finally did it. And at that point, I had almost 1,000 accounts. And I think Joe is in level 7 and Nathan is 8, something like that.
Right. And we both know that when you're enrolling a lot of people, it fills those rows down. And so now when you personally enroll, let's talk about your account. If you personally enroll someone from your account, your diamond account, where do your personal enrollments go? Do you know what level they go now?
So my personal people now, they go to level 8.
Level 8. Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you, level 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless there's any, change in the matrix with the compression and so on. But generally speaking, on level 8.
Level 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I believe that's the one that is, it's either 512 or.
I believe you're right. Yeah, I think it's 512.
512. Okay. Yeah. So that row takes longer to fill out. So it does take a while to fill out if you feel like you're the only one enrolling. This is where it's important to get other people enrolling underneath you, because it's really true. If everybody did just do 2, those 2 people did 2 and so on, that's how it grows exponentially. But we know that doesn't work in the real world. We always have the top ones that are going hard. But I always say to people that you just never know who's going to go underneath you. And I actually have a good story about that. So a friend of mine, he doesn't even have email, early 70s. And I told him about LiveGood. He's like, yeah, I'll throw my $140 in. So I paid with the credit wallet. It gave me cash, no problem, right? He says, Jane, I'll just let you handle it. So renewal time came up. Okay, so a year later, and he's only got one person underneath him. And I said, look, it's time to renew. Throw $100. And he's like, well, I haven't made much money. So it's kind of humming and hawing, right? I said, well, Tom, if I were you, I would at least do it another year. He says, okay, no problem. So we renewed him for another year. Shortly after that, one of my enrollments ended up underneath him, and this person is probably going to build. She's already bronze. So right there, he went from one person to now there's another 3 people under him very quickly. And that should keep growing. And this is why people should not quit too soon. For the sake of $100, I mean, people are going to Costco. They're coming out with a kayak, a TV, a lifetime supply of peanut butter. And I mean, Costco's smart. You know, you're standing in line. What do they have? All the candy and the granola bars and everything right there. It's an impulse buying. You grab it, throw it in your cart.
Mhm.
Nothing of spending money on that crap, right? And with LiveGood, we've got really good supplements and great prices, and you only buy what you need. Like that's one really good membership. With the amount of stuff that's coming out, you can't go wrong. Now, as a diamond, is it okay to talk about your earnings now?
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think what happens, everybody wants to know, like, how much money do I make when I get to this level? How much money do I make when I get to that level? There is no telling, because you can be a gold and you have 100 people total in your organization. And you can also be a gold and you have 1,000 people in your organization. Yes. Because of the way that it's been structured. Because to get to gold, you need to have 100 people total. And then you also need to have either 3 people. I have my retainer. I don't know if you can tell. I have a lisp now. I'm like,
yeah, you're okay. You're good.
It's driving me crazy. I'm halfway into my treatment. So weeks, I'm at 7.5 weeks right now. It'll be done July 3rd. I cannot wait. But anyway, so to get to gold, you need to have 3 legs, and you got to have at least 30 people in each one of those legs, right? So it's either 3 legs with no more than 30 in each leg and a total of 100, or you can simply have 3 silvers and silver, 1 in each leg, and a total of 100, and you're going to hit gold. The thing is, you could have 1,000 people in your team, but it's 500 in one leg and 500 on the other leg. So you're still, you didn't get to gold. And so the idea is, it really depends on how many people are on your team versus what rank are you in. So when I got to diamond, I already had 5,000 people on my team instead of 2,500.
Right.
But once you get, just to give people like a little bit of an idea, once you get to silver, you can make as much as $300 a month. And that would be, residual income. Again, you would be a silver with probably a couple hundred people on your team. You just don't have the right structure of the 3 legs. But you can make as much as $300 a month. If you hit gold, you could make as much as $500-$600 a month if you have more than just 100 people on the team. And as platinum, you're going to make at least about $800-$900 a month when you first hit 500 people on your team. And then, of course, as that team grows, depending on the organization and how it all falls into place, because my son is platinum now, you can make as much as $3,000-$4,000 a month as a platinum. And as a diamond, I think the worst case scenario would be about $4,000 a month.
Okay.
And, all the way up to 15, 20, 30. I mean, we have diamonds that are making $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
So, that range is really big between 4,000 and 50,000. So when I hit diamond, I was way past that $4,000 mark because again, I got there with 5,000 people instead of 2,500. And the reason why it was such a struggle to get there, and this is so interesting, and I know you and I, Jane, we've talked about this a few times. My main account, I brought in I think it was around 160 people in my main account. I personally sponsor that many. Out of that 160, I literally had 2 legs working.
Mm-hmm.
It was 3, but then one kind of started falling back, but it was 3 initially, and then it was 2 out of 160. One of them, it was you and Daniela. The other one is Jimmy Ferris. And the third one kind of, was hanging in there and it wasn't going anywhere. So, and that's why it took me so long to get to diamond, because I only had the 2 legs. And that's when I opened up my son's account, and then I took him to platinum, and that took me to diamond. So with that, it's also important to say that in his account, I have only recruited now about 70 people. And out of those, I have close to 20 that are running with us. So how do you explain that situation, right? It's still Tricia. I'm still the same recruiter. I'm still, training the same way, doing all the same things. But in his account, out of 70, I have about 20 running with it.
That's good.
Really good, right? Mine 160 and I have 2. So you just never know. You never know. There's a little bit of luck involved in this because
there is. Yeah, I've said that before, and I'll continue to say that. There is a level of luck in this type of business, but at the end of the day, the ones that stick in with it will be the lucky ones, because we are in such a great time, and with the way that Ben is calculating the numbers and stuff like that, and the growth. I mean, these guys, they know what they're doing. And it keeps saying they haven't even gotten started yet, because they've got things up their sleeves that we don't even know about yet. So, I mean, for the $10 a month, it's worth it. Keep it going. You're buying most people I find are buying products anyways. And with the amount of new products that are coming, there's got to be a few products in there that, you're going to get your money's worth just by having the membership. Yeah. So this has been great, Trish. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
And, we'll do this again, because I'd
love to.
Yeah, like even 6 months from now and a year from now, we're going to talk about even the ranks. Like, I'm platinum right now, and my goal is to be diamond. But what I like about the option to become diamond is you don't actually have to rely on anybody else, because you could just go ahead and enroll 2,500 people. And for people that are big time influencers that have, say, 50 million followers, that's a drop in the bucket. So once some of these influencers start coming on board, it's going to be a game changer.
Absolutely. And, don't be greedy is the number one message that I have for people. So the first guy that enrolled with me, I enrolled, and he happened to call me and say, hey, do you know of any good opportunities? And I was like, oh, I just joined this thing. I don't know if it's good, but here's the link. He joined. And second month into it, he started whining that he wasn't making enough money because he wasn't selling big packs and taking advantage of people and pushing a ton of products. And so it was like, well, there's no money in this, and I'm mad, and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't pay the second month. He had the very first spot on my team on the left. So when he did not pay, Jimmy got moved up to the top spot on the left. And now he's got over 2,500 people under him in that leg. And that was this guy, Luis, that was his spot. And he was whining because, just flat out greed. Like, I would rather take advantage of somebody and take their money and hurt them, but get paid the fast start bonus on the big packs than to actually help people to save money and put money in their pockets. And look, he quit. So he got mad. He threw a fit. He yelled at me that the opportunity was bad. And then 6 months down the road, he joins again. But I mean, at level 7 or 8, not at level 1. So anyway, stick with it. Make your $9 payment a month. Don't let your account expire, because every month I have people bawling on the phone saying, oh my gosh, I thought I had another week to pay. And the last day of the month is the day you get kicked out of the matrix if you don't pay. So just make sure you pay and stay in it, because long term, this thing is going to be amazing. I can't wait, Jane, to be hanging out with you again in Mexico 5 years from now.
Yes.
Saying, do you remember?
I know.
Yeah.
It's so true. And cheers to that. Yeah.
Here's to that.
Yeah.
And until the next live, we'll do it again.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.